Folks, how y'all doing? This is Connell. We're coming to you with a 2v2 today, and as we watch this poor truck over here burst into spontaneous combustive fire, let's focus instead on what the battle is going to give us today. Today we have a 2v2, like I said, it's on rails and metal, so very much a kind of train yard-centric map. Blown up rail ties, and yonder, and this, and that, supplies, and all this kind of stuff like that. We have Soviet and UKF facing off against OKW and Wehrmacht. Now, in the northern side of the map, we have ourselves Bread, Marsh, Live, Place. You can bring on three different ideas: terror tactics, shock motor heavy tactics, or shock rifle frontline tactics. So it sounds like we're going to be shocked by one way or the other here. Just a rough guess. Locke, his ally, in the meantime, has already gone for Special Weapons Regiment. Now, from the German side of things, we have Yoker as OKW, Breakthrough Doctrine, Special Operations, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces. His ally, in the meantime, looks like it's going to be PhD John Bravo. Forgive me about that, guys. I want to sneeze, didn't want to do it necessarily on the recording. So, PhD John Bravo. So, Johnny Bravo's a doctor, so what's he bringing on in? Well, he's got one of three. He's got a Jaeger armor, which could be kind of fun. We have Lightning War, and we have Storm Doctrine, and that's a rather unconventional set. We don't usually get to see something like that. Opening coming on through, PhD John Bravo is going to go for infantry company, bringing in a mortar, a machine gun, as well as a grenadier squad. Yoker is going for a very balanced approach as well. Bread Marsh Place going very quickly into a conscript and clown car, and Locke just opening up with a couple of infantry sections. Now, the fun part about rails and metals that these cute little trenches here and there, as well as these garrisons, pretty much mirroring on both sides of the map. Pretty much. It's not perfect, mind you, but pretty much. Trenches, for example, on the northwest side of here are a little bit more removed than they are, but they still at least have walls and the like. You have some really interesting engagements you can have because of it, though, especially in this area. It tends to become a cauldron of death. As much fun as this green territory is, people don't seem to take it because it's so easily encircled, more or less. But alright, we have a piece of relative quiet for the moment. 2:35 in, and we are seeing a 2-to-1 cap in favor of the Allies here. Grens, Volks, and Rakettens are all shifting on forward, but not going to do a whole lot, man. I mean, it's just going to be mortar rounds being thrown downfield by John Bravo. The infantry section will be thrown back as well. But it's worth mentioning that these guys are pretty much all getting kitted out with medical supplies, so despite the fact they're taking some heat here and there, not that much of a problem. Alright, though, in the meantime, what do we got? Clown car is through, and we have the standard combat engineer with a flamethrower in it. So, business up front, party in the back, and the pioneers are saying, you know what, screw this, bro, I want nothing to do with this. They should be backing away. They should be retreating for, Pete's sake, but they're not going to do it. In the meantime, Volks Grenadiers will try to outflank a lot of these British troops, but getting themselves kind of flanked in the process. I don't like this particular positioning by them. In the meantime, we are going to see the Soviets diving on forward. Special Rifle Command has been built out by the Soviets, which means we're going to see those penals starting to come on through. And John Bravo and Yoker don't seem too concerned about this. Now, where's that Rakettenbrough? Well, he's not aiming at the right target. Aim at the scout car, you fool. And never mind, damaged engine it is, and he gets cut on down, courtesy of a Panzerfaust and rifle fire, which is just so strange to watch sometimes. Penal Battalion, in the meantime, they're going to charge out, looking to pick on this mortar team, or heck, even some of Yoker's troops, Dr. Bravo's troops. Not really getting a chance to do so, though, courtesy instead of the MG42. So German players working decently well together. They are still taking losses here and there. But we're seeing supportive grounds of fire back and forth. We're seeing combined arms approaches. And we already have Battle Phase 1 has come through for Dr. Bravo. Are we seeing any kind of tank, SWS coming on in? Yes, there we go. Coming in now. Question is he going to go and invest in that mechanized regiment headquarters or go for the infantry company? Or, the battle group headquarters. Wow. Mixing my Germans here. Whenever you see a 2v2, I mean, usually you tend to see a bunker being thrown on down, and frankly, the more advanced, the better. And at that point, you see, yep, there's the medic bunker coming on in. Would have been better. We could see a much more obvious opportunity. throwing it right down the center position, have both German players move in to heal off of that before going back out into the fray. The Germans, in the meantime, though, will decide to throw down battle group headquarters of their own. So a little bit of inefficiency happening here, and the Germans are falling under a triple cap as we are going to see infantry section diving on forward. AEC, so Hammer has been selected. So AEC being called on in, at least the requisition for it. I also want to call it Hammer and Anvil, but it's not exactly right now, is it? But specializing in the AEC as opposed to the Bofors. Now, most people would say, hey, why would you put a Bofors in the first place? I just recently cast a game where that was a problem. I was stunned by that. And that poor house is going to get completely owned, and he doesn't know it yet. Perfectly placing that, and his ally's not even calling it out. He's got to run right now. That house won't take too many rounds. Worth noting in the meantime, at least the Brits have not been able to move into their other tech upgrade. OKW is going to go for an AA half-track. How about John Bravo? He's going for a 222. So in terms of light vehicles, it'll be close, but I would say that the AEC is going to lose out to the 222 and the AA half-track. Of course, it does presuppose a couple of styles of engagements here, neither of which are particularly comfortable for the Axis players. Flamethrower doing a lot of work, although right now he's also finding himself running afoul of a lot of rifle fire. Getting pushed on back pretty darn fast here. And medics coming out, healing up all the friendly Germans in the area. And there is some of that trench play I was talking about. But you can even see, doesn't seem to give you a firm enough position to hold back any kind of advancing groups. 222 advancing over here to the western side, trying to take out this wire, at least to make it more palatable for Germans to shift on forwards. Soviets don't have any tech structures out just yet, and that AEC just prowling about, my friends. On the fire from enemy bastards. I so rarely hear the beautiful sounds of British English being spoken, so it's always kind of funny for me when I hear things like that.
Enemy causing trouble.
Mortar, in the meantime, he is positioned the right way, but he's not really able to drop any more rounds on them because they back away. The Germans are retaking the western approaches. Grenadiers as well as Pioneers shifting on in. And the AA half-track doing exactly what it needs to do. Just kind of hang on out. Be a nice little position to fall back on should the Germans require it. And, yeah. We'll allow it in the meantime. So John Bravo's going to go for Yoker Armor Doctrine. So it's a quick reminder of that. Anti-tank mines, recon overflight, spotting scope, and elephant tank destroyer. So it's not a particularly common scene thing. I mean, it is kind of fun to watch this Stuka as a bombing strike. This is pretty darn awesome if you hit a territory on the map. I mean, it can be absolutely beautiful if you can manage that. But not many people use it. So it's very expensive for that matter as well. Infrared half-track being put on out, so now the Germans are trying just to kind of continue to passively gain some intelligence here. And maybe allow their mortar a good opportunity to just start throwing down rounds, and the mortar will find a good concentration of British Truppen. More M6 mines going on down all over the place. We have a mine up here. We have... Where's the other mine that I saw? Well, there were mines closer to the mid-center part of the field as well. 222 and AEC are going to face off in a kind of a wet noodle, I can see you, but you can't see me, or I can shoot you, but you can't shoot me kind of opportunities here. Neither one really pushing forward for it. Leaving us in a bit of a standoff. 476 to 321, though. It looked like it was going to be a trip cap for the Germans. Not going to happen, though, at the end of it all. And AA half-track does not even get off that burst of fire. It wouldn't have done tons of damage, but it would have done a good amount of damage, I would say, at least against the AEC. Now the question is, AEC's on charge on forwards. Rounds coming out, though. He's going to want to back away, and there he goes. There he goes again. Scout Sniper Team as well. Ooh. So T-70 Scout Sniper Team coming on through. So, Tank Infantry Battalion Command has been called on in, but will the 222 be enough to force back this T-70? Honestly, considering that we also have a Pack 40 on out, I would not be shocked. Look at that. Look at that positioning right there. It would have been perfect. But instead we just see you back up and a little bit more of a... Well, a little bit more of a relaxed approach.
Support gun deployed. Crew ready for orders.
ISG coming on through. That's a good call right there. 25 pounders in the meantime going to start to hit this area here. And do we have the company command post in just yet? No, but the corrugated metal is going on top. And penals are these guys can repair? No, they can't. What the heck are they doing? Trying to figure out what the heck was going on there. Anti-tank squad attacking indeed. Main gun destroyed. 222 should be able to dive after this right now. Question is, will the Soviets throw it out that whole lovely piece of kit? The satchel charges? No, they're not going to. They're going to try to just hunker on down. Okay. And, well, AA half-track doesn't get the kills, but I tell you what does. Will be the mortars as well as that ISG. So indirect firepower is going to start to be the name of the game, and the Germans should win that, at least for the initial part here. Even with the 25 pounders being called on in from Locke, he doesn't have everything kind of, you know, all locked down. A well-placed MG-34 will frustrate the approaches of this tank hunter section and push on back this other infantry section as well. People are trying hard to take this middle position, and I think by the end of it, we'll just see nothing but just gouts of earth spread all over the place. Scout sniper team getting 3 headshots. Germans have taken the center position, so it's time to back away. T-70 is accordingly back towards home getting repaired. The AEC is just kind of twiddling his thumbs, not able to do a whole lot. Now, let's check over here in the meantime. So support armor core has gone up, and we should be seeing... Oof. I think we should be seeing another SWS coming up pretty darn soon. Armor alert indeed. So AA half-track is forced into a retreat, but the AEC not wanting to face on off against the 222, as well as the possibility of a Raketenwerfer. This has to back away, and that's a very intelligent idea there. And just, there we go. So the consistent mortar fire, ISG fire, it's going to be just continuing to go on all day, every day, 414 to 321. It doesn't seem to be going all for the Germans, but at the same time, we just see concentrations of German troops. Oof, and there goes a, well, indirect fire taking out one of those brave squads of Tommies. Of course, keeping this guys right here, not a good idea. They're going to force them back, and there they go. T-70 going to approach over on the western side? No, 222 is going to keep them nice and afraid. As is this Pack 40 sitting back here and defilade with his MG to back him up. MG, in the meantime, will go and continue to cause some issues for tank hunter section. And the MG-34's got to know it's time to run away. Guys, heavy rain's coming. Or is it chubby rain? But now Locke has gone on up to having a lovely little Cromwell coming on in. And John Bravo, he's going for a Stug. Okay, so these guys will be decently matched against each other. Of course, the turn rotation is a big, big difference. And this AA half-track causing some problems, I would think, for these Royal Engineers, who should retreat rather quickly. Yep, there they go. And just nothing but explosions all over the map. Let's in fact drop the view a little bit more so we can see perhaps a little bit more of the map. AEC is just barely within the range of that AA half-track. We're starting to tickle him to death. And Raketenwerfer throws it right into the ground. Well done. Well done, sir. I'd doff my hat to thee. How about you in the meantime? Okay, so we have the, excuse me, I didn't even notice this. We have the Mechanized Armor Company coming on in, which means we have a T-34-76. And, not going to be anything special in terms of that. Locke, in the meantime, throws out a resupply half-track.
Up you go. Intercom check.
Strange decision here, but alright. Yoker, in the meantime, what's he got? Well, Yoker's going for an SWS, which means at long last we are going to see like a 17-minute Schwerpanzer headquarters. It's been a very long week, guys. I'm sorry. Stroke, in the meantime, is on the field. The T-70 is going to realize he's in the wrong neighborhood. Gonna try to get around. Not gonna be a great idea. Rear armor hit. He's so totally toast. Faust, nothing. Fear burst propaganda. Okay, so fear burst propaganda. That's gonna cause some doubt and fear among the Germans. Faust up though would be nice. Not quite able to get it on out, but no. Instead, we're just going to see the Stug laugh as T-34 tries to throw rounds into its face as he throws rounds back, almost without any kind of care. Pack 40 is facing the wrong direction. Fear burst propaganda did not force him into a retreat, of course, that being a rather more definitive anti-tank platform. They don't get to retreat the same way everybody else does. Or the eastern side, well, Volkswagen is going to get chewed up by this Cromwell. And where is Yoker's a half-track? Nowhere close, back towards the center part of the map, which means it's up to the Rakettenwerfer and probably Faust's to shove away that Cromwell. In the meantime, did that T-34 survives? Germans have a trip cap still yet again, and we're going back to just bang on even. Yikes. Sturm Pioneers, actually indirect firepower sets off that mine. And Sturm Pioneers, it's time for you to run, my good sirs. Run, retreat, flee. Flee for your lives. And we're just continuing to see a consistent message here. It just seems to be two 1v1s as far as the Allies are concerned, but the Germans are just, they have this mesh of forces. Oh, okay, you needed this help for the moment. Flood of stuff over to one side of the map. Not happening at this current second.
The command vehicle has converted to a static building.
And indeed, it's a bit of a misplay here. But this should be a much closer game than even the scoreline suggests. Peanut Troops getting chewed to pieces, 222 doing God's work. You know, over to the east, we see a mob play coming on through. A furious amounts of firepower, indeed. I would like to see special operations and just start throwing out those grenade assaults. Those things would be so good. So good. Fear propaganda artillery being utilized instead, so these guys can start to be very, very afraid. Especially these poor grenadiers. Forced away they are. And the Germans take back both VPs. So Yoker is going for a Jagdpanther, decent call. How about you? Bravo has, bizarrely enough, gone for a half-track. Probably going to be seeing those flame projectors on it. Flampanzer would be kind of nice, after all. Stug, in the meantime, is going to just start to shell these garrisons down, so that way there's no easy way for the Soviets to have a jumping-off point moving to the west. That's a good call. Only a couple more rounds here. Yeah, never mind.
The enemy still has 300 points.
There we go. Alright. Locke, in the meantime, is calling himself another Cromwell. Brad Marsh lived place, BMLP, going for T-34-76. And Yoker's got his Jagdpanzer. So, I'd be very afraid if I am the Allies. Of course, I'd have to see this. But I'd be very afraid. It looks like the Allies are finally getting their act together, swarming all of their armor over to one side. T-34 is lining up behind it, backing up. So indifferent is he to this entire process. It'd be funny for me to have Bravo just throw down a bunch of mines, anti-tank mines all over the place, and that would just be so effective. T-34 is just backing his way through, though, so I'm not sure what the heck he's doing. 222 going to just kind of engage gently. And probably get taken on out? No. Rounds whistling by. Jagdpanzer in the meantime going to go and catch the rest of this charging force in the flank. Maybe? No. Still gonna get hit? No. I'm so confused. What is going on? Well, half-track's going to go down. There goes 222. Pack 40 is going to turn around and take out one of these Cromwells, I imagine. No. No, he's not. The Jagdpanzer's turning around. He's not even able to hit anything either. And now Pack 40 gets decrewed. Stug is going to be able to take out this one T-34-76. But he will get killed in turn, I believe. And the Jagdpanzer's going to chase after these allied tanks. Nope, he's not. Never mind, folks. AA half-track is being super, super gutsy. Charging on in. Silly, silly Billy idea. And Stug now is just going to play a ring around the rosy against this T-34-76, and he will lose eventually. So sad. Sad, sad, sad. Jagdpanzer backs away. Rakettenwerfer is still in the area, and this is a shoe mine. I say a shoe. And the Germans have just given up a half-track. Damaged engine. Does the Grenadier Squad get away? Not. Ooh, it does. And Pack 40. Wow, so we have a lot of German equipment just almost going over into Soviet hands. Pack 40 is getting forced on back. Jagdpanzer should be able to get up, rotate, and pick off at least a T-34 with the curious swinging shot from hell. Not entirely sure how that works, but it does. The curvation shot, the acquisition of Puerto Rico, the annexation of Puerto Rico. When you think about it, it's a special pitch. The knuckle puck of tank rounds, and the shock troops doing exactly what they're supposed to do, which is completely shred infantry up close. Unfortunately, when you're faced with so many STGs, it's probably better for you to back away, and they do. So, kind of hard to say who really won that engagement. I mean, Locke lost no vehicles. Germans lost a total of like 3... I want to say 3. That Faust completely missed. I don't know how. But the Soviets dropped 2 T-34-76s and picked up what? In a single... Pack 40. Kind of a rough call to say who really specifically won that one. Mortars team in the meantime trying to go picking on off against this VP capturing teams. These guys are right on top of each other. It went beautiful. They had to be there 3 more seconds. That could have been absolutely huge, but it was not. 317 to 151 in the meantime. What are we seeing for rebuilding? Well, Jagdpanzer's not seeing any friends, nor is John Bravo. Maybe he's trying to wait for that elephant. I don't think that's a really good idea, but maybe he is. Bread Marsh, live place. Well, he is going for another T-34-76, and he will find it, my friends. More fear burst propaganda coming on down center part of the field is my guess. Yep. Yep. AA half-track, of course, did go down the end as well, and Yoker is going to go to Luftwaffe ground forces. Curious decision. Maybe he's doing it so that way he can get Fallschirmjägers. I could not tell you for sure. Valiant Assault isn't maybe the best opportunity, and I mean, as nice as the heavy fortifications are, really? Do we really need that? I don't know. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more attention to a late game approach here. Heck, for that matter, I'd like to see the last headquarters being called on in, so that way we can see Königstiga. What we are going to see in the meantime, though, is 2 Cromwells chugging up this eastern side of the map. Jagdpanzer are going to try to sidle on over. Not quite. Instead, we're going to see this machine gun crew getting chased on off, if not getting picked off altogether. And Schwerpanzer headquarters forces back the AEC by himself. That 75mm armored car, not enough to stave off imminent defeat. Capped out machine guns, and shoe mines are finally exploding, causing some issues for the Cromwells. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be enough to slow them down to guarantee a kill. And indeed, as we see right now, Jagdpanzer is getting aggressed on by this other plucky Cromwell. As much of an issue as I had early on with a lot of the play here, looks like the Allies are really starting to get it together. Are we going to see any sort of Faust, anything like that? Not going to be enough to save the Jagdpanzer, that's for sure. Unless he bounces. And he bounces. Never mind. That better not bounce. There we go. But he dies just barely afterwards. So the Jagdpanzer getting mismicroed at the absolute last second, which is just a shame. Germans have no more tanks. OMFG is like totally what I would be saying, except... yeah, well... Whoa. Keep out the hate speak there, bro. T-34s have been called on in, which means it's going to get hotter and harder for the Germans, and Yoker just must go right back into that anti-tank. Oh, the missing Faust. Yeah, I have a problem with that. And at long last, Le Elephant. Yes, I need an elephant. I need some more space in my trunk, good sir. What can you bring me? Looks like it's going to be a triple cap. Nope, never mind. At least a 2-1, though, in favor of the Allies. It's not going to last too much longer. Even have that cap over here for the Germans. T-34 with its madcap skills. Just wrecking whatever it wants to, running things over like crazy. Well, that's going to cause some problems. But 273 to 141. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have? Well, we have the elephant shifting on up from John Bravo. Yoker isn't going for... Huh. He's not going for that Jagdpanzer anymore. But I think it's intelligent. I think that makes sense. Elephant, in the meantime, they'll release to kind of post up and start shredding all this charging armor, because these poor German troops cannot handle it. One shot takes down that T-34 to half health. Supporting fire from the Rakettenwerfer takes out the main gun. Time to drop down that view yet again. So working on the whole rails and metal kind of section, it's very, very difficult to easily see. Especially in this area right here, it's a little bit more gully-ish. But now we're going to get some Fallschirmjägers dropping on in. These guys are plucky, but I don't think they're going to last too long here. Awful lot of firepower. 3 squads of Vickers Ks. Elephant's in the area, though, my friends, which means he is ready and raring to fight back all the rapacious Allied hordes. Well, that's quite a little motor pool, so 2 T-34s, 3 T-34s, 2 Cromwells, and an AEC. Yoker, in the meantime, well, he's got nothing. Just a couple of anti-tank guns. And John Bravo, again, to my mind, should be throwing down every bit of anti-tank mines he can even afford. Now, we will see a fair amount of Fausts. I mean, we have a couple of Fausts here and there. The Lock seems to be completely inclined, to wait until things are completely necessary. And thus... Okay. So Königstiger and Elephant, it's really just a match of the animal kingdom against the world. T-34s, Cromwells, AECs, and not just a couple of T-34s. Gonna be 4 of them, my friends. In the meantime, we are going to see, well, one Cromwell might go run afoul of the AEC, of Pack 40 here. Ooh, there goes the AEC. Awaiting orders indeed. He should be able to post up and at least do some more damage here. Oop, just barely missing. Now, we're going to wait until we get that veteran C1. That 45... Granatwerfer 39 is beautiful. Shock troops, shock the enemy tanks into submission, while the Königstiger and your associated anti-tank weaponry just pound them into complete submission. That'd be fantastic in this case. And let's not forget, in the meantime as well, that King Tiger, once you get that veteran T3, pretty darn cool to get. Oh my gosh, they call it Spearhead? Oh yeah. Could be fun. Actually, I don't really see people utilize Spearhead too often. It's kind of a shame. What do we got? So the elephant's posted on up. We have some infantry in the way to kind of spot for it. And the entire Soviet motor pool is in the area. Koenigsegg is being supported rather well. Yeah, I'd say so, dude. Jeez, that's kind of terrifying.
The adversary has slipped to 100 points.
Now, I am surprised. The elephant is going as well as it is, but this is what happens. You support the elephant with some kind of true support, and you can really get yourself a viable anti-tank platform. Now, one-on-one, the elephant loses a lot of its capability, kind of virtue of the fact that it's first of all, it's so stinking expensive. Having that 20 20 pop slots. Your opponent can just usually trade much more effectively. Since it's so anti-tank, your opponent can just trade more effectively against it. In the meantime, 4 T-34s are lying in wait and waiting for almost like waiting for that just signal to be given. A fifth one is being made right now, so Bread, Marsh, Live, Place is just going to have an absurd amount of tanks.
Down to 75 points.
Just an absurd amount. And the question is, how do the Germans consolidate this particular kind of position? Well, what do? One is you build a little more indirect fire. Not so much like, oh my gosh, look at me, I have so much indirect fire. Ooh, comets. Comets finally being selected as well. But you know, Stukas Fus, throw down anti-tank mines all over the place. You're getting tons of munitions and ammunition for it, so do it. You might as well just, you know, here, you know, all the obvious approaches. Funnels, for obvious reasons. But instead, we're not quite seeing it, are we? We're seeing kind of a lackadaisical approach, in fact. Not sure I like it very much. And the word's been given that going after the Koenigsegg, 4 T-34s, even just in terms of just raw numbers, it should be more than enough. Elephant is firing from the side, though, so try to get a nice wide-angle shot. I can't go out any further. 2 T-34s going after the Elephant, 2 going after the Koenigsegg. There goes one. One is dead, Jim. It's never coming back. We're going to be able to shred another T-34 here. Oof, rear armor hits galore. Cromwell's T-34s, everything going after his Koenigsegg. And the Koenigsegg will go down. Elephant, in the meantime, not quite dead yet. Instead, he's tracking on over to try to help out his erstwhile comrade. Another T-34 dies. That's 2 of the 5 are dead. Forgotten Purpose lining on up. We have Piats all over the place. 25 points left for the Allied troops. And yikes! Concentrated barrage coming on in. There goes Schwerpanzer headquarters. That's pretty devastating.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
The Elephant is still up. But I guess all of this, it's an insane amount to face. There goes that infantry infrared half-track, and I imagine we're seeing the entire...
We only have 10 points
Yeah, it's impossible. It's just a pack of wolves bringing down a great bear, or a pack of hyenas nibbling at the flanks of an elephant, just to give the whole name kind of pure here. And he goes down as well. What were the losses taken on that one? Okay, so we had 3 T-34s go down. We had the Cromwell go down, and now we've had this massive armored fist in the center part of the field. And 3 half-track all over the place. Got Vickers in the back. We have anti-tank in the back. We have all this mess of material. And the Germans are just desperately trying to take whatever they can here. Which I completely get.
We've lost a unit.
The Germans just managed to take out that last little chunk. Last little chunk of tickets. They're not in, oh my god, they're not in the area. In fact, they just given away all of their infantry has Yoker. All of it's dead. Fallschirmjägers are pretty much going to die here. They're not moving fast back home. And Sten guns will mean that that's a completely neutered OKW. John Bravo has barely anything left. So down to 5 tickets, 4 tickets. Can they do it? Can they decap in time? Oh my gosh. Probably thanks to a tanks secure option, they might be able to do it. 1. Will this be the end of the game right here, folks? Just barely. Oh, they must have missed it by like a 1/10 of a second. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sure the Germans are just celebrating right there. Another elephant coming on in, but I don't think that's going to be enough either. I think at this point there's just so much Allied armor they can just trade like crazy for it. War speed's been enabled again. Need to re-enable on that one too, but unfortunately it's that tank is still very much overheated. So 1 to 238 right now. Fallschirmjägers in the meantime trying to go and take back this position, but they can't. Comet's going to go and kill them. T-34s, KV-8s, so much material. And now here's the Germans completely lose it. Trash? Dude, you were so close. You missed it by like a tenth of a second. Okay, that's just a heartbreak right there. That's what that is. That's truly a heartbreak. Yoker's just kind of upset, I think, because he has exactly one squad to his name. I'm wondering if he's just trying to save up to bring in another Königstiger. I don't think it'll be enough, but maybe that's what he's doing. Johnny Bravo, in the meantime, over here, what's he got? Well, it has that one elephant, and the elephant is on parade. Here he comes, blowing a hole through that poor T-34. But a triple cap for the Allies now, so the Germans have to go and take back a couple of these positions. So if they can take here, aggressive 2 spots at once, they might be able to do it. That's asking an awful lot of them. KV-8's in the air with that flamethrower. We have T-34s. We have all that nonsense. Just absolutely insane. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. So from the brink of defeat, it looks like we're going to see ourselves an Allied victory. Stormtrooping, excuse me, Fallschirmjäger is being utilized now, coming out of ambient cover, but they're still really in a bad area right there. So they are going to be able to take out that entire squad by themselves. Time for you to run, though. No, don't cap. You have 186 tickets. Back up. Reset yourself. Get your minuscule troops back in place. And then do a last, last rush. You're not going to do it the way you're doing it right now. Piats all over the place. Yoker is feeling a little bit salty right about now. And that's the game right there. So one freaking ticket left to 168. Allies win by way of surrender. And I feel like the Germans kind of screwed themselves in the fact that they had the elephant and the Königstiger, which was nice, but I feel like they didn't adequately prepare the field otherwise. Taking a look at what the Allies had, no mine detecting over here for the UKF, 1 squad for the Soviets. That's it. You have these Regal anti-tank mines. Half-track, dude. Come in, start throwing them down all over the place. You're all set to go. And he had a half-track at one point, just didn't use it at all. So Germans dropping a heartbreak right there, but well done to the Allies in that one. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in today, this particular match. As always, if you like what you see, leave a comment below. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as part of our little group here. And I'll see you guys all soon. This is Connor Work signing off. Take it easy.